Good morning, everybody. We're here with Tech Savvy Realty Solutions, and our guest today is Lorraine Danielson. I'm really excited. Welcome, Lorraine.
Wow. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Yeah, we're excited, right, Cal?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks so much for being here. So this is our channel, Tech Savvy Realty Solutions, like she stated before, and we are here to teach agents how to use technology to improve and better their whole system. So be sure to subscribe and follow along. We have tips like this and great interviews all the time. And we're super excited to have Lorraine on because she's going to talk to us about Canva and some flipbooks, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, let's just kind of touch base on that. So on flipbooks, tell us, what is a flipbook anyway? Are you talking a digital flipbook?
It is a digital flipbook. So, with the advances in technology, we used to go to a listing appointment or, you wanted to share information. We printed everything.
Yeah.
But with technology now, the flipbooks actually, even if you want the noise, it sounds like a book flipping. But with ChatGPT and Canva, you can create one that is a link. You can download it. You could make it into a PDF if you wanted it to be a little bit more a different format. But the benefit of the link is you can load it into your Google My Business account, which we have guides on there for our different local areas, and people will download that guide. And it can be, it has a lead form in it. So if they want to download it, you can capture their information, or you can just make it a free download and then they would call you off of it.
I love this.
Yeah, but if you wanted to, one of the things we do is before we go out for a listing, we send them in like an email for our listing guides, or if we're doing a buyer consult through a Zoom, we send our buyer's guide in advance. We have some for downsizing, right? Or, things that you need if you have someone that maybe they need to have a will or a trust. We've used them for numerous things, but they're really meant to be able to either educate or be a lead capture.
Sure. Well, it just levels up your professionalism too.
It does. And one of the other things too, if you're big into Instagram and you have a business account, ManyChat will allow you to, where you've seen somebody say comment below house or
Yes.
guide, it will auto send them the flipbook. So then it's all automated. You're not having to do it, but it's also another way for lead capture. So there's a lot of things you can do with these.
That's great. We had a guest on before that she was talking about exactly how she did different things with Instagram and ManyChat, and that was pretty powerful. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, it's a great tool, and they have a free version. If somebody's looking to get started and they don't want to invest the money to see how it works, they do have a free version that's a little more basic. So it's a great way to wet your feet in it and kind of see if that's going to be something that could work for you.
I'd love to see an example of some of the ones that you've created, because these all sound like so easily duplicatable. And I know we have a ton of people that are always interested in learning more about Canva. So this will be exciting.
Yeah, one of the things too is if you don't want to create from the beginning, Etsy is great. They have lots of downloads. Elevated Agent is another. She has a whole, actually bought her vault. I've downloaded a few of her things and then realized I got a 50% off coupon one day, which you can kind of Google and find. And we were able to get her whole vault. So so it makes it super easy to do all of her templates. They load in, they're very classy looking. She does high quality. And she has, and she just opened it up to where she does a monthly, edition, and she puts those in the vault. Once you're in, you get access to every single template, whether it's social media, things like the flipbooks, guides, anything you want. She gives you access to everything.
Yeah.
That's a shortcut right there. I like shortcuts.
Yeah, but I like the easy button. There's definitely flipbooks inside of Canva, but having one that's geared to real estate to start with, and you can go in and tweak it was perfect. But if you want, I'll share my screen now, and I can.
You got the power.
So this right here was one of our guides that we did, and it's for Canva. Okay. And or it's for Dallas, Georgia, which is the area that I cover. one of the cities. And so this was actually one of her designs at Elevated Agent. And so it made it super easy because I could then just add in some photos. I was able to, I changed a couple of the little categories, but you could do that. And then it talked about like local living. It got into climate, demographics, things that they would want to know, local employment, local events, things to do. We get asked a lot where if there's a major hospital, especially with our older, clients, want to know that, local clinics. We do have a college here, and then we talked about local schools. There's a little bit about shopping, places to eat, parks, and then there's like a little synopsis of us. So a nice little guide if somebody, whether it's a client or you're looking for leads from it, to be able to give some value to someone. Let me get back over here and I'll
So you kind of create that in Canva page by page by page.
Yes, and because the template was there, I just had to, and I used ChatGPT. Like I went out and said, okay, what is the climate in all 4 seasons in Dallas, Georgia? And it just gave me that little synopsis. So it makes it pretty quickly to be able to edit it. Or what's the top 5 employers, right? In the area. And just to be able to give them a little bit more, information. And it's, like I said, it's not covering everything, but it's the things people ask about, right?
Yep.
I actually had a client recently that was from out of state looking, and they were like, we really want the kids to go and run off some energy. We got done house shopping, and I said, hey, in the guide are, 5 parks close by. And she pulled it up and they drove to a park, right? Like, great for clients too, to be able to have it as a resource.
Dog parks too.
So let me look at one of our other guides. I know you're going to think this is crazy, but I am on the ACC in my neighborhood. And we were doing everything with this 3-ring binder when somebody wanted to paint. And so marketing in my neighborhood, one of my projects was I digitized that paint book.
Oh.
And so being able to have that, presence in my neighborhood has been, it's a plus. Like you could do all kinds of things with it.
Sure.
But it made it super easy, and we don't pass the binder around anymore. So this one right here is a senior guide to estate planning.
Love it.
And so, it just touches on, what's important to them, some things they need to think about. So if you're marketing to that retirement, which is a huge pocket, I think a lot of people don't realize that's who has equity, right? It's usually and they're looking to be in a ranch, a 55 plus. We have some other ones I did, like if you're a child and you're trying to help them, you know what I mean? Like trying to help them prepare. So lots of uses this way, right? To be able to make it. And this was just another guide, and then I tweaked it for us.
So she has all kinds of topics. Boy, we should probably get her.
She does. And if you don't find it there, like I said, if you go into Etsy, there was a guide for just about anything you could want with real estate.
Wow.
And you'd be able to edit it. And once you have the template, you could then, if you had a topic, you could adjust it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That was the biggest thing to me, having that outline to kind of follow if I wanted to tweak it. But I will show you what it looks like in the flip book. So within Canva, there's a couple of different ones. This one I felt had a lot of options, and it's called Publu. It's Publu.
And that's within Canva?
It's within Canva. So it'll download to it. And I think $7 gets you 10 flip books. I have a little bit extra because we have more of an account, but if you wanted to start there, it was probably the most economical, but it did do some other things. You could actually incorporate in your flip book a video. If you wanted them to watch it, there can be links that would allow you to go to, say you have a page on your website you want to send them to that has additional information. So that's been one of our new things we've added in. Like in my Dallas guide, I have like, on my website, pros and cons. I have a YouTube video, right, about that. I have a much more detailed parks where it really outlines it. I have dog parks, like all those different things. So one of our projects coming up is we're going to add in more links in the videos of those locations. But you could do all kinds of things with it. So this is what it looks like when you get into it.
Well, and one thing I just learned yesterday or the day before, that YouTube loves it when you're backlinking in from another spot to that YouTube, and it tracks that. So you're really doing your YouTube itself value by having that.
And yes, and like I said, so you could link them, back to your to your website. So you've got SEO there, to YouTube. You could link it to anything you wanted. If you wanted them on your Instagram, wherever you want them to be able to stay and play within your, the content you created, there's a lot of possibility with it. So this is what the flip looks, and you can hear, I don't know if you can hear the little, but it's super easy for them to flip through. And then right here, I have a link. And when you come here, you'll see it comes to my website. And this is a more detailed about employment near Dallas. And these are a lot of our employers.
Let me ask you this. When you just click to that link, are they easily able to get back to the flip book where it makes sense to them?
Yes, as long as the tab. Now, if they're on their cell phone, it'll be a back button.
Okay.
But if it's in here, it just opens a new tab.
Gotcha.
But now they're on my website, so they may end up playing on my website, right?
I have
obviously a call to action here. And then over here, I have the Dallas guide. They could look at retirement homes. Like we have some other calls to action within.
Oh, so you have a lot of your flip books right on your web pages.
I do. We found, this is like this is that guide. I do under, let's come here to retirement. So if you're looking to retire, we have, I need to get these as images. We just started these. This is my senior guide to estate planning. 10 tips to declutter when you downsize, preparing for your senior move, and senior guide to move-in day. So these all link into the guides in the flip books.
I have a quick question. In regards to all of these guides, you clearly have mastered this. These are amazing. Would you tell me, how long does it typically take someone to create this?
If you're using like a senior guide, these had almost all the information in there. And I only had to tweak something, I would say maybe like regional, like something I felt didn't really maybe apply to us here. And then I'm going to move you guys over here because I feel like I'm looking the opposite way. There we go. And then you're just putting your info in there. And I do think I changed a couple of the pictures out. Like they looked a little grandma looking, and I made them a little, but those were super easy. I'd say 10, 15 minutes, right? Because they were, somebody's come up with all the things you need to do, right? Like that didn't change. Now, if you're doing a local guide, you might be 30, 45 minutes because you need to go into ChatGPT and pull down. And then you need local images, right? So you're going to need some pictures that, are like the Dallas sign, like I use the Dallas Theater or something like that.
Right.
So you may have to have a little more homework if you don't have, photography that you have the rights to. But yeah, they're not very long at all. So you could create, all the local cities near you, if you wanted it about a county. We've built out quite a bit. Let me come over back to my homepage.
Like how many pages would you say on like typical flipbook would be?
They're usually anywhere from about 10 pages to you could have something more. You got to remember too, somebody's only going to look through so much content. I feel like, a community one, you could maybe have 20. I wouldn't say you'd probably have more than that. You'll lose them. If you do have it built out on your site and able to hyperlink that, I think that's kind of gold, because if you dig deeper, like in our move to Dallas, this is all our categories. We have like commuting, closing, retirement, pros and cons, employment. So all those things, education that was in the book, we've mimicked here, but a little bit deeper. And then we have things to do. If you want dog parks, restaurants, wineries, and breweries, it's great for SEO, so you can maximize in multiple ways.
Yeah, that's great.
And then under your Google My Business, there's an area that's called products. And that's where we've loaded a lot of our guides for the local areas. And you can see where people came in. And you can see how many views in Publu. You can see what somebody's been looking at. Let's see here.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we had one with Marietta that we've kind of shifted a little bit with our area, but I had a ton of views on it in Marietta. So I had about—
That's where my mom lived.
So I think it's just where you're going to use them, and utilize it. It's something new we just started, so we are kind of excited that it's turned into, a resource for us to be able to provide education.
Are you using VAs to help you put all this together, or are you doing it all?
This is me.
And are you in full production?
I am in full production, yeah, and I have a team, but this is kind of one of those things where I had set some goals for myself this year that I wanted us to kind of get into this. I've always personally worked my sphere. The team, I had lead production. We're trying to get to where with YouTube and some other, lead gen like this, where I feel like that's the next step to a referral, right? Yeah. Somebody that finds you, feels like you educated them, and then comes back to you.
Yeah, they're looking for
and they reach out to you through those avenues. So that's been a goal of ours to get out of, having Google PPC or, other lead sources. Just being able to control it and having someone that wants to work with us, just like referral. Somebody said that you were amazing. They love you. Well, what's the next step to that?
Yeah. I love it. I love all the books that you're doing. I was paying $29 a month for one that was like 500 pages, and it was a flip book that one guy created, and he was keeping it current with all kinds of backlinks. And I said to him, your backlinks though take you off site. Is there a way to keep the backlink so that they still can just go back and not get lost and leave that whole product, right?
Right.
And it was for Charlotte, the entire metro area, and it gave taxes. It gave so much stuff. It was well worth $49, and I would put it out there all the time. But I only did a once a month post when the bill was due where I put it out, whereas you are incorporating mini bites, which makes more sense. And especially if I buy a template and now I'm just tweaking it. If I just did one a week and I started adding them.
Yeah, and that's what I did. As we were building out my site, we just did a refix on it. So then I really want to have one that's maybe just like you said, just taxes, right? If somebody's interested. And then every time I build one, we're now putting it on our Google My Business under products. And then when I use Loomly to schedule out, because it'll schedule to your Google My Business. So we're making posts about that as well, where we talk about whether it's retirement or downsizing or whatever the topic is, and they can download the guide. So that, like I said, this has been a project the last couple of months I've been working on just to get us, the baseline set up to be able to do it. And the first set of retirement ones, we've already had 3 phone calls off of. Because and then they came in to do because they were looking for a 55 plus neighborhood. So starting to, like I said, it took a little bit of some time to lay the groundwork. But this has been one of probably the better things we've done. So it's been worth the investment because somebody is looking for, people start looking for information, as you know, but on YouTube and everything else way before they move. Nobody wakes up today and goes and buys a house. It doesn't work that way.
Might be.
And so we're trying to get into get them there before.
You mentioned something. You said Loom Link.
It's called Loomly. It's Loomly. And there's not a lot of tools that will auto post to Google My Business, but it will. And Tammy Price at my brokerage teaches a great class. She'd be a great one for you to interview. She teaches a great class about Google My Business and how to rank and be the local authority for you. And she gives some great, it's very instructive. But one of the things that she does is she teaches you how to build products out, right? Like that information. What's going to make Google see you as an authority in your area, language, reviews, everything that you need to do to build that profile out. So she would be a good one. But I took her class, and that's when I'm like, okay, I'm creating content over here. Where else can I leverage this to maximize one book, right? Like, how many places can I put it?
Right.
Just to make this worth the time, spent for us. So
what did you say her name was?
It's Tammy Price, TAMIPRICE.
So, I keep hearing Google My Business. I don't know if I have a Google My Business. Is it just what is it?
Well, you create it. So you're going to go out and you'll create the account, and it's just like if you wanted to go to a local restaurant and they have one,
okay, then I do have
reviews and times they're open and all that. And so Tammy's like the queen of it, just because she's got a whole course with Elite Academy that she also teaches, and then she teaches at our brokerage. But one of her classes, I would tell you, would be great, because a lot of people, when they're looking, one of the most typed things is best real estate agent near me. And when that comes up, and this is going to sound crazy, but if you add that to your profile, and list of services, like what it, you say you do listings and luxury and land, whatever you do. Well, if you actually type in best real estate agent in your city, it will now put you on the map pack. That's all it takes.
Wow.
Isn't that
awesome.
crazy? So how when you see the map and it's got the top 3 agents, and then you can't stuff it with a ton. You have to kind of wait a few weeks and put maybe another thing in there. But you'll always pull up when they look for best real estate agent near me on the map pack.
Oh, I freaking love that. Look you got so many gold nuggets here.
Yeah, I have. So I think we're winding down here. We really appreciate your time, but I wanted to just ask you one more question and kind of get in the habit of this as we interview some of these amazing people. Is there one particular technology that you use that you think is absolutely important for agents to integrate into their business?
Oh gosh.
Or
we
favorite
use HomeBot as well, which is HomeBot.
Okay.
You have to have a lender that is they really pay the bulk of it. And with 500 people, it's like $25. I think you can have like 25 for nothing, just to try it out. But we use it for our past clients. And it's going to give them like an updated CMA. You can adjust it if you feel like it's getting, out, because we have to look at it every now and then. But it also gives them like, what's their equity? Could they use it for college to buy a second home? It keeps in front of them. We find they're like addicted to it, looking at it, and it'll send you notices when they think they're going to move, because they'll start looking they'll start opening it more, or they start, because you can house search through it kind of too. And we've loved it. So we feel like that's a great piece of technology. We've integrated that this year. And like I said, I have people, they'll open it every couple weeks when it sends them something, but it's in front of them. And it also, like I said, talks to them things they could do with all that equity, because we have lots of clients that have equity, but they don't want to move. So what does that look like? Is it a second home for them, or an investment property? But you do need a lender. Like I said, they carry the bulk of the cost, a lender partner.
We'll check into that.
That's
well, thank
something
you.
else I think would be, valuable.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you can use it to farm. I mean, you could put that out as a call to action for a CMA or to get buyers. Like it's not just for past clients, but we find, keeping in touch with them, it's an easy way to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your info. This has been really informative, and I'm excited to actually start some flipbooks of our own.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So if you guys need anything else, just let me know.
All right. Well, thank you everybody
so much
for being here, and thank you for watching our channel, Tech Savvy Realty Solutions. And we hope you subscribe below, share this with others, because we got a lot of great people coming on just like Lorraine today. So that's it for today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.